There might be a ghost in Peppa's house. The little pig has an evil sister you've never seen, and the way you see the pig family is about to change forever. Get comfy and come with us, because another Cinewave is about to start. Susie. You may not have seen Peppa's sister, but Susie definitely has, and we have the proof. The opening image of the video wasn't a trick to fool you, because believe it or not, Peppa's best friend knows a lot more than you think. Let's go back to the episode The Imaginary Friend, when Susie tells Peppa that she has an invisible friend named Leo, a nice little lion. Everyone in that episode thinks Susie is crazy, but that's not what's going on at all, and it has everything to do with Peppa's sister. Pause the scene right when Susie introduces the invisible Leo to the little pig. That was actually a test the little sheep was doing to find out if Peppa could see the things she sees. But since Peppa couldn't see ghosts, Susie realized that her friend wouldn't understand the truth. And what truth is that? It's simple. There's a theory about a restless spirit haunting Peppa's house that only Susie can see. She would be another little pig who was the main character's twin sister, and we're going to show you all the evidence that she exists right now. Choose carefully whether you're going to watch this video with the lights on or off, because this story might scare you. Gazelle. We'll say it again, only Susie can see Peppa's missing sister, and there's one piece of evidence that nobody can deny. Halloween night at Madame Gazelle's school. That was the night that revealed the mystery. Watch the Halloween pumpkin episode. Everyone was happy and having fun at the town party, until Susie finally saw something nobody else could have seen. Pause the video when Madame Gazelle is talking to Susie. You'll notice that they're standing in front of a mirror, but only Susie has a reflection. Everyone knows the theory that Madame Gazelle is a vampire, and do you know the best way to find out if someone is a vampire? You put a mirror in front of them. If they don't have a reflection, then they're a vampire. Notice that Susie is dressed as a vampire, and that there's a bat above the two of them just to reference the monster. All of this is the show's way of proving that Susie can see supernatural things, and one of those things is Peppa's lost sister. You're still not convinced, are you? Relax, we're just getting started. The photo. You probably never even noticed that strange photo in Daddy Pig's office. It almost looks like the show was putting an Easter egg there just to scare us. But that photo is where the big mystery begins. To join our mysterious investigation, you'll have to go to the episode Daddy Pig's Office, where Peppa and George visit their dad at work. Everything looks normal there except for that photo. Pause the video right when the screen focuses on Daddy Pig's desk. We can see a picture frame with two little pigs in it, a boy and a girl. You're thinking they're Peppa and George, aren't you? Forget about that. This little pig is Olivia Pig, Peppa's lost sister, and the little pig next to her isn't George either. He must be some cousin, or maybe even another missing child. And if you don't believe us, just look at their clothes. The little girl pig is wearing a polka dot dress, something Peppa doesn't wear, and the little boy pig is wearing a bow tie. Do you remember ever seeing George wearing a tie? Never, right? On top of that, the picture is black and white, which proves that the photo is old. And believe us, there's a lot more evidence about this. Would you like to take a picture with Peppa? Comment the hashtag pig so we can meet you. The boy. Still talking about the mysterious photo. That boy really isn't George. Let's go back to Peppa's story about the day she found an old videotape from when her mom was pregnant. Not with Evie, but with another baby. Pause the video right when Mummy Pig appears pregnant and Daddy Pig is holding Peppa in his arms. That baby inside Mummy Pig's belly couldn't have been George because Peppa was still way too young. She's 2 years older than the little pig. In other words, she couldn't still have been just a baby in her dad's arms when her mom was pregnant. If that were the case, George, who is 2 years old, would also have been a very young baby when his mom became pregnant with Evie. Do you understand the mystery? If Peppa was still a baby being carried around when her mom got pregnant, then who was the baby inside Mummy Pig's belly in that video? This mystery involving the pig family's children is getting more and more intense. The shoe. If you really want to recognize Peppa's sister, you just need to look at her shoes. Think we're going crazy? Then let's take a look at the next piece of evidence. Let's investigate the episode Peppa's New Shoes. When the little pig loses her shoes and goes to buy another pair, she decides to buy the red shoes and says that they're her favorite. That's strange, isn't it? If they're her favorites, then why did she never wear them again? The answer is in a Peppa story called Peppa vs. George. Go to this episode and pause the image right when the supposed Peppa and George are fighting over the TV remote. Look at those famous red shoes right there. But there's something something strange about Peppa, isn't there? She's wearing a different outfit, with flowers and little stars on it. The main character doesn't wear that kind of outfit. She actually looks more like the little pig in the photo from Daddy Pig's office. And now you're going to say, wait a minute, are you saying this girl is Olivia Pig and not Peppa? Yes, that's exactly what we're saying. Peppa's mysterious sister is jealous and evil, of course, because she knows she isn't the main character of the story, and that's why she stays hidden. She's definitely the character wearing the red shoes, which is why the real Peppa never wears them. It was the show's way of telling the two sisters apart. But maybe you want even stronger proof. Poster. There's a very strange image showing Peppa's family in the backyard of their house. But the weird part is that if you look at the house window, you'll see what looks like a copy of Peppa staring out of it. It looks like a mistake, doesn't it? But it's an official poster. People say this was an animation mistake made by the Peppa Pig production team, and that, even though it's an official poster, it should be seen as nothing more than a simple error. But what if we showed you that this image could actually have some truth behind it? That's because the picture shows a little pig who can't leave the house, but which part of the house? Before we answer that, you have to do us a favor.
Don't forget, subscribing is the easiest way to make sure you never miss any of our videos.
Basement. Peppa's sister lives, or used to live, in the basement. Don't remember the basement? Let's go back to the episode Power Cut. Basically, the electricity went out and Daddy Pig went down to the basement, which is underneath the stairs, to find a flashlight. Pause the video right when he opens the door and walks down into the hidden area of the house. This scene shows that there's a space underneath the Pig family's house, right? But to make our investigation even more mysterious, go back to the episode The Secret Room. In this episode, Peppa and George are inside that same space behind the door, but there's no other staircase there. And that's a strange detail because we saw that there was another area. Daddy Pig went down into the basement, and the show never showed us what was actually down there. This is proof that there used to be another space inside the Pig family's house, and that this area was hidden after a renovation. Is it really crazy to imagine that Peppa's missing sister used to live there? Maybe she lived there with the little pig who was standing next to her in the photo we showed you, and the two of them may have passed away, which is why they became ghosts that only Susie can see, while Peppa can't. Okay, maybe that's a little too extreme, and maybe this story isn't actually a horror story, but there could be another explanation involving Aunt Dottie.
Let's go back to that photo in Daddy Pig's office. The little girl pig in the picture is wearing a polka dot dress, isn't she?
This is a very interesting detail because her outfit looks a lot like Aunt Dottie's style of clothing. Aunt Dottie really likes wearing polka dot dresses, and this detail works as a clue for another theory. In this case, Peppa's sister, Olivia Pig, wouldn't be a ghost at all. Instead, she would be living in the United States with Aunt Dottie, separated from Peppa. That's why the two of them have the same style of clothing, because they live together. And why would that make sense? It's simple. In the same way that Mummy Pig has to live far away from her sister Dottie, Peppa also has to be separated from Olivia. And that would be a reason for the main character's twin sister to become sad, which is why she eventually turned evil. And maybe you're wondering if there's any more evidence for this. And yes, there is. Carol Cow. For this one, we're going to have to go back to the New York episode and look at some very interesting details that work as clues. First, let's take a good look at this scene where Miss Rabbit tells Peppa that there are several rabbit sisters living all around the world. Pause the image during the airport scene. This is the first clue that talks about twin sisters in this universe. Then, move farther ahead to when they're inside the taxi. Pay attention to the store window, where we can see a book with a picture of Peppa on it. This is a clue that the little pig is famous in the United States, or maybe her sister Olivia is actually the famous pig in America. And now for the third clue in the theory. Remember Carol Cow? This little calf appears in the same episode. Go to the Times Square scene and pause the video right when we see a bus passing down the street. Inside the bus, we can see Mrs. Cow, who is Carol's mother. We know it's her because she's wearing a yellow outfit. Now, next to the bus, we can see Mrs. Cow's twin sister standing beside her niece, Carol herself. And what does any of this have to do with Peppa's sister? Everything! Apparently, in Peppa's world, sisters are separated from each other. Miss Rabbit is separated from her American sister, Mrs. Cow is separated from her twin sister who lives in the United States, and Mummy Pig lives far away from Dottie. Do you see how the same story keeps repeating itself? Peppa and Olivia are living on different continents, and we know the reason why. The computer. Go back to the episode Mummy Pig's Book and pause the video right when Peppa shows George the scores from the chicken game on their mom's computer. This image shows the names of the top players in the game, and we know all of the first 6 players except for the last one. The 7th player has the initials O and P. There are no characters with those initials
initials in the show, except Olivia Pig. And this is only a theory, but what we believe is that Olivia actually lived in the basement of the house for some time, but then she was separated from Peppa and sent to live with Aunt Dottie in the United States, just like the other sisters in the show ended up doing. And do you know what's even crazier? In the game, Olivia's score is 142. And do you know what episode 142 of Peppa Pig is? It's the story of Miss Rabbit's Day Off, the exact episode where she switches places with her twin sister, Mrs. Rabbit. Do you really think it was an accident that the creators of the show put that exact number there? Well, if you really think that, even though this is only a theory, then you need to spend a little more time on our channel to discover the truth.
Enjoying it? Then click one of the 2 videos we left on the screen and keep going with us. See you next time!